Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Warden in the Paunch, where I'm starting to get a little worried about our timing. I'm looking at our reputation bar, and it's creeping up really quickly. I'm actually, super jazzed about that. Obviously, we could really use the bonus reputation and growth, or the bonus obedience and growth, rather, from pressing up into the top part of the bar here. But I'm a little concerned that we're about to hit another wall while we're still so very, very far away from Altdorf. It's going to make it really hard for us to have maybe I'm overly concerned about having a quote-unquote successful wall. Maybe we should just be happy for it to be a bunch of extra bodies that we can apply in our fight against Reichland. But I really wish that we could, that we had a chance of actually, beating them while it was up and claiming the big trophy. I guess if we put this Skaven thing to bed and we just get on fighting the humans and we're really aggressive about it, maybe it's possible. I think we're going to be in a little bit of a race situation here. Alright, so, Rakonic Spiderclaw needs to finish up this Volkmar the Grim problem. One thing that's really great about pulling off an ambush on the opposing player's turn is that their turn ends and then your turn begins, and if you are ambushing in your own territory, you will probably heal off most or even all of the damage that you took during the ambush battle, but they'll still be in terrible shape. So it should be easy enough for us to ride out here and take out what's left of this army. And Zavastra has a 12-unit garrison, and we can't see the health of the units in the garrison, but when you take over a settlement and you claim its existing garrison buildings and stuff, your new garrison starts out at very, very low health and then has to replenish over a few turns. So I think it should be easy enough to defeat these guys, even though this is quite a large army altogether. I think we want to hit Volkmar rather than hitting Zavastra, because Zavastra has a bunch of melee troops. We want the Volkmar's ranged troops to be on the front line, and we want these guys to have to run in. Okay, so they have a little bit more health than I was expecting, but on the whole, this shouldn't be too bad. Volkmar, after losing the ambush, went to his Regiment of Renown pool and pulled in a couple new units, so they do have a full health halberdier unit and a steam tank that we have to worry about. This shouldn't be too bad. This I don't think this balance of power bar represents the situation very well at all. Let's get in here and do this manually, because I'm sure if I hit auto-resolve, we would lose the battle, based on what the balance of power bar is showing us. And we're just going to have to, Oh, interesting. I guess we are kind of near a river. Well, this is going to make things a little bit better for them. They certainly have a force that is more capable of holding a choke point than I would like, and our cavalry is going to be tough to use, given that. Their reinforcements are, of course, coming in a perfectly safe position. It is, however, the case that we have 3 catapults, and as far as siege weaponry goes, they have merely a single steam tank. Now, a steam tank's not nothing, and it absolutely can deal damage at siege range with its main cannon. But I'm wondering if we can just, if this is one of those situations where we can just make them come to us by employing by doing enough damage to them with the catapults. And even if they back off to meet up with their reinforcements, we can just we can roll the catapults forward and pound them that whole time. So probably this is going to be fine. This terrain is very, favors them a great deal, though. Do we want to have any of our Vanguard units actually deploy up? I don't think we do in this case, because they have this this wall of arrows. They'd be able to start shooting at us right away, and if we charge forward, they would just move up the spears and the full health halberd unit. So I think we're going to start basically like this. Put you a little further forward so that you can run up and do the thing. And yeah, mostly what we're doing here is just letting the catapults do what catapults do. So they're not backing off. In fact, they're coming to us, which I do not think is a smart play for them. But I do think they're going to have a hard time either way because of all of this thing. Wow, that was effective. And they're not even going to let their reinforcements, they're not even going to let their reinforcements come in, huh? Alright, let's get some of these units set up. So I'm going to pull my charging cavalry to one side and my archer cavalry to the other. Set these guys up in front. And then we have, oh, you guys should be over here. Our swamp things, which I will keep in back. Remember, their reduce enemy melee attack by smelling bad effect has a pretty small radius, so we want them to be sort of in the middle of wherever the melee ends up happening. Keep you guys in skirmish mode. Alright, let's start targeting the catapults a little bit more precisely. So we're going to have you shoot at the middle of the enemy group. That halberd... Are these the... This is the new halberd unit, right? Wow, we've really reduced their health by a lot. It turns out catapults are, like, pretty alright. As much as I don't like shooting at small groupings of units, we do need to deal with some of these archers, so we're probably just going to miss a fair amount. And I am not too worried. I'm going to move the trolls over here to this side in case these guys attempt a charge. The fact that they are pistol units does not mean that they have to engage as pistol units. Remember, they could go into melee mode, and they would probably defeat a catapult crew quite easily, so we gotta be wary of that. This I'm not so worried about. They're pistoliers, and they're not really outfitted for shooting through the kind of armor that a Black Orc wears. Your best to stay focused. I do want them to run away when the other units try to charge them. But I think we're just going to let the Black Orcs stand there and be tough. I don't know what the hell these guys are doing, but they are getting charged. Ouch. Stupid Luminarch. Actually, they've kind of opened up this whole side. They've not really bothered to give us any reason not to charge forward here. So let me then maybe retarget the catapults a little bit. Here, you start firing over here. Because we know we don't need to shoot at these guys if we're going to just cavalry charge them. So these are the boar boys. I don't know who we want to try to deal with the steam tank. Or maybe, honestly, maybe we just sit back and let it shoot at us. I know that seems a little unintuitive. But I don't know that we necessarily need to deal with it directly. If it doesn't want to roll forward and use its more dangerous close-range weaponry, and not that the close-range weaponry is better, but that if it was up close, it could use both the close-range and the long-range weaponry, then I'm content to let it just sit out there and not participate in the battle, I guess. Alright, we can roll up and meet him, and you just run in the middle and show those sons of Ulrich who is the boss, and this is probably an okay time to start dropping spiders on people. And then, yeah, let's recalibrate the catapults a little bit. You guys fire at those guys, and you guys maybe also just fire at the... How far back can I have you aim? Yeah, start shooting at these guys, I guess. Okay. This is working out all right. The skirmish mode is doing the thing it's supposed to do. Spiders will, Wow, the spiders will immediately give up. They decided that it was a bad idea to follow my orders. Let's cause some itching. And then, I mean, I guess we can only hit one unit with this. We'll speed those guys down, and then as soon as these dudes break, we'll have the shooty cavalry focus up over here. They are taking a long-ass time to give up, though, considering how incredibly destroyed they are getting. Alright, we gotta pull some of these units back, because they're charging into the mass of actual melee here. Honestly, for right now, just retreat. I don't think it needs to be any more complicated than that. Actually, you guys... try to give the squig hoppers some room. Squig hoppers are definitely one of the most valuable units we have here against the enemy infantry ball. It's probably the one we want to lose the least. You guys stay on that. That aside, I think we're probably in really good shape here. These halberdiers would lose to Black Orcs very, very badly, even without the itchy nuisance. So yeah, this should be resolved pretty quickly, and then we can move the Black Orcs and the Trolls up to face the rest of the incoming. I am sort of curious exactly how bad the auto-resolve result would have been for us. So the balance of power bar suggests that it would have been quite bad, but at the same time, the balance of power bar doesn't always give you a good idea of what the actual auto-resolve result will be, which is weird. You would think that it would be based on that math. Let's have the four boys fall out there. They did some good work on that Luminarch, but I don't want them getting caught by spears. Alright, fall back, fall back. We're going to try to roll around here, so you guys don't need to keep messing with them, but these handgunners are recovering. Let's get our chargy cavalry in. It looks like the melee and the ranged on this side have separated a little bit, and we're going to try to slip past the melee to hit these guys back here. Something like that. The pump wagon, because it's so good against infantry, I'm going to actually have the pump wagon try to fall back over here, and we will use it to do like some hammer and anvil style charging on this infantry once we engage with it a little bit more fully. Where are my trolls? You guys just wade into the deep parts of this battle. We're probably ready for spiders again, right? Yeah, let's move forward a little bit, throw up some spiders over there. And the missile cav, I guess just keep doing missile cav stuff. We gotta burn out their missile cav before we can start contributing to the other parts of this battle, really. And we'll keep an eye on our spellcasting. Okay, the Luminarch is actually dead now. So let's have the boar boys fall back this way, because I'm going to use them the same way as the pump wagon. We just gotta give our infantry an opportunity to get involved here. You know what, go charge Volkmar real quick. And this seems like a fine time for an itchy nuisance. I see they haven't yet fixed that bug. There's a bug that you sometimes get when you give a unit an order, like a staged order, where the last step of it is to perform an attack, where sometimes they just choose not to do the last stage of it. Let's see. One of our catapult units is firing at a target that probably doesn't need the focus. Where are the rest of the catapults firing? You should probably refocus to... We probably don't need to potentially take on friendly fire here. My guess is we're going to have that whole middle part well under control, especially now. I guess there's not really that much else to fire at, huh? We might be getting close to the part of the battle where it doesn't make sense to have the catapults firing anymore, because they're doing more harm than good. Although I will say, it doesn't feel very thematically appropriate to recognize that and have greenskin units fall back in those situations. I'm gonna have these guys fall out of there because they are getting overmatched a little bit by the steam tank. And I think it's time for you guys to push in. Actually, let's try to catch Volkmar. Spider hatchlings. And we can probably just we can just let the cavalry handle this part. Chase these guys down until they are permanently broken, and then we'll come back. Speaking of... Yeah, well, I guess those enemies are not permanently broken, so keep at it. Okay. Now get over here and help. Okay, we also got to make sure that we are moving him up, because he is a very important part of what's about to happen here. Poor spiderlings are just deeply panicked by the steam tank. That's as fast as he can go, huh? He really needs his mount. We'll throw up a quick itchy nuisance, and then we can hurl some big stuff. Actually, no, go this way. We can hurl some big spells at the tank real quick here. It's like, that's a good target for a Vindictive Glare. These spiders. I want to try to keep keep spiders on Volkmar if we can. Melee attack up for Black Orcs. Just get through. They have a lot of armor-piercing damage, remember, so they should be quite good at dealing with the tank. You have an enemy coming back in that you could charge. Did those spiders get spawned? They did. Get on Volkmar. And it looks like our missile cavalry here are a little bit reluctant to fire. I think they maybe are feeling like they don't have a clean line of sight, so let's move them into a position such that they do have a line of sight. Although, obviously, it's not ideal for the steam tank to be rolling backwards into that area. I'm going to have all of the Black Orcs follow. Actually, let's have all the Black Orcs follow, and then we'll break one of them back off for Volkmar. You need to keep running forward. I mean, this battle's over, and the fact that he's not willing to give up is basically just Volkmar being obstinate. I mean, I'll say this. We haven't actually dealt any damage to him. But I'm going to keep reducing his ability to deal damage to us. Fire another Vindictive Glare at the steam tank. I don't know if this even did much damage last time. Is there anything else out here? There are some units that I don't really want to get involved here because I'm afraid they'll just take damage. Did he actually cast that yet? Nope, he's trying. Okay, there it goes. Nope, it did, it did literally no damage. Alright, Volkmar finally gave up. He didn't take even a single point of damage, though. I don't understand how that's possibly the case. Where's my boar boys? Can we get a boar boy charge here? Volkmar himself is apparently invulnerable. Nice. You guys just shoot arrows at that tank? I think that's the best we're going to be able to do. We're trying, man. This is not easy. This thing does not want to die. Get over here and let's throw up Sneaky Stabbin' and just on whatever unit of Black Orcs has the largest number of figures left in it. The trolls are absorbing a lot of the damage, which is nice. Don't be too stressed out about that unit. Has been wiped out thing. That's just the summoned spiderlings reaching the end of their duration. We probably withdraw the boar boys at this point. Their charge bonus has definitely worn off. So we'll get them out of there and have them recharge. God, yeah, it does take forever to kill a steam tank. Even with units who are like actually very armor piercing, it's just a real nightmare. Alright, more Sneaky Stabbin'. It does kind of look like we don't have all of the, like, there's Black Orcs just standing over here not doing their orders. Did you guys get in here and chop? Probably some friendly fire going on. I should maybe call off the archers. You guys, go over there. Okay, never mind. It's over. And somewhere, Volkmar is still on the map. Yeah, he's still desperately running for the hills at full health, because apparently we are unable to damage Volkmar the Grim. He didn't actually get any kills. He didn't harm anyone. He just wasn't killable himself. That's a little strange. I'm starting to wonder if Volkmar is, there's something going on with him, something otherworldly. He can move further than he should be able to move. He's immune to traditional weaponry. I'm not saying that he's definitely a Time Lord, but I'm not prepared to say that he's not. So unfortunately, because the loss in the ambush battle happened on their turn, and then the loss in this battle happened on our turn, this army might not be completely destroyed. Like, we might actually see them fall back a bit. But we killed them almost to the man. There's 80 total bodies left between the two armies. I think we just took slaughter captives recently, right? So I'm going to eat captives here. Okay, no, we did actually murder that whole army. We killed such a large percentage of their troops that there's just nothing left. And oh, I love expert casters. Well, give me Zavastra. How are we doing on money? Yeah, we may as well loot and occupy. Alright. Rebuild this. Ooh. Do I rebuild that? I think, given the way that things are going around here... Well, I guess I don't really need to build a growth building, probably. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep that. Okay, so... We're at negative 92 public order here, but the number's going up. Trending upward. We're way down. Oh, right, we're way down because I just looted here, but it's fine. It will be fine. I think we're largely under control, then. Rebellion-wise, in that area, at least. Get some more growth going here. We're definitely going to experience some rebellions in other areas. You guys need to run on up here. So next turn, we'll actually make this attack happen. We'll come in with just a huge number of bodies. Alright, we're building another pair of siege towers. That seems like a fine way to spend the time. So next turn we claim Hell Pit, and then they'll just have Khazad Bordkarag left, and probably that's a thing we can resolve with just one of these armies, so we can have the other one move down and start doing this thing. Actually, we can have the other one move down and start working on the defense of Erengrad. What's the duration on this plague? Oof, 3 more turns. So if we try to ride right through the valley, the way I would like to, under most circumstances, the army that we use for that will probably get plagued. You might have to take kind of a longer path around. This plague is very inconvenient. They did a good job. This was a solid use of a plague. I need you to, just get over here and keep an eye on Kappelberg. Wolfenburg's garrison's up to 17 units, so... Probably... I mean, Wolfenburg's not just gonna suddenly collapse, right? We will have some time, at least. If they run over here to take it, they will have to spend time doing it. And then there's absolutely no reason not to take this. I guess with this tech unlocked, it becomes the case that even if we have to run a wog against Reichland that runs out of steam before we hit the capital, we'll get another one shortly afterwards, so probably it'll be fine. Definitely get that commandment going. We definitely want to push growth in Erengrad very badly. And we don't have a ton of turns left of running at this deficit. Hopefully we can clean things up a little bit here. I mean, as we take more land from the Reichlanders, we'll have more opportunities to sack their valuable settlements. Hopefully that will be able to maintain things for us. So because of the fact that we have Hell Pit under siege, armies that are in Hell Pit can't recruit units. That's why you're not seeing any growth for Pestilost there. Oof. We do need to get down here and start making the Reichlanders pay attention to us, because otherwise we're going to lose Sylvania entirely. Did they win that battle? They did. Yep, Sylvania is falling. So what they did there was they ran in and had an army siege Castle Tempelhof very briefly. Did you seriously lose that? Oh my god. Our allies are terrible. They are terrible at military strategy. They had an army run in and siege Castle Tempelhof because armies that are in a siege city cannot function as reinforcements. Soishank falls because its garrison is tiny and very, very ill. I can't believe... This is such a bad army, and they will absolutely win. They will win that fight, but that's a very sad army to lose a city to. They're not even going to take it. They're like, wait a minute. This place is so poor and so sickly, I don't even want any part of it. Military access. They want me to give them 200 gold for military access. This doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Because, they certainly are not having any armies move through our territory, and also, vice versa. But I'm going to go ahead and take this. If they somehow manage to survive, it would be cool to have a good diplomatic relations with them. And hey, look at that! The rebel army is actually driving off the attackers. That's definitely not the way the rebel armies used to behave. I feel like they would ignore anything that didn't come near the city that they were rebelling against. I guess that's a behavior change that must have happened recently, probably with the patch that accompanied this expansion. So Northern Oblast is the forts. I mean, we have plenty of bodies in the area. We will be able to handle this. Just gotta move a little bit closer. Alright. Here we go. This should be real easy. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this manually. This would be a boring siege battle, because like you can see, they have basically a bunch of crummy melee. They don't even have any like really good elite melee. The Plague Monk Sensor Bearers hit relatively hard, and they're armor piercing, and they have a debuff that they leave on you, which is quite annoying. But they're easy to kill. They're not good stand and fight infantry. These are flanking infantry. They forgot to build any ranged units. They have 3 Hell Pit Abominations, but this battle is going to take place entirely on the walls. These Hell Pit Abominations won't get to be part of it. Same's true for the Rat Ogres. Like, this battle would take quite some time and would literally just be us staring at the walls. I'll take 60,000 gold. That sounds alright. Okay, that's enough notifications. We'll have Azhag be the one to actually occupy the settlement, I think. Wait, is that true? Because we could have either one of our armies ride up and grab it. No, you know what? I'm going to have Oglok be the one. Yeah, just occupy. That's a hell of a lot of money we just made there. Alright, so Oglok somehow didn't level up from the huge battle. We probably want Fists of Gork next. It's actually a pretty solid buff. And Azhag, I'm going to have Azhag... So we know we're about to have a rebellion army spawn right outside Fort Ostrosk and one spawn right outside Prague. So I'm going to move him to like over here. And what is the output? Okay, we can afford to turn this off and then go into raiding mode and get ourselves some... Oh no, if we turn... Okay, we want to turn Extort back on then. I definitely want to... It doesn't... I guess there was no reason to turn it off, right? I'm trying to drive obedience down. But we definitely want obedience to drop. We don't want the rebellion to not happen. I want that sweet, easy battle. So Rachnik's going to have to save Bekoffin next turn. It shouldn't be too hard, even if this rebel army is remarkably high-tech. Like Black Knights and Graveguard and stuff. This is a real vampire army. Just because Bekoffin has 17 units and Rachnik has 20, and the math is probably going to be pretty good on this. Let's get these dudes out of here. Yeah, I'll take the replenishment because we took a lot of damage there. And actually, what do we want you to do now? You don't really need to go in the settlement, like the losses weren't that bad. So I think we probably need Rachnik to head south as fast as possible, right? Somebody's got to get down there and deal with that situation, and Lord knows it's not going to be those vampires. Also, Rachnik's voice sounds a little bit like John Mulaney's Mick Jagger impression. I can't help but notice it. You go get our technology boost back up, or don't. You know, it's fine. You know how greenskins are famously forgiving of failure. I'm sure the war chief's not going to have your head or anything. Maybe I should have had... Yeah, I wonder if I should have had Rachnik grab Kappelberg before heading south. Well, we'll have to correct it with somebody else. We're committed now. Castle von Rocken should absolutely upgrade its boss's shack. The Norden problem is that's a later problem. Hellpit is a province unto itself. So let's go ahead and repair the main settlement building. We'll repair the money-making building. And then, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know if we need recruitment stuff here. Well, I guess if we are afraid of chaos armies spawning in the chaos wastes and then coming down this way, Hellpit's not a bad place to not a bad place to build resistance armies. And it looks like once we upgrade the main settlement to level 5, we'll have 8 slots here. So actually, this is probably a pretty good place to have recruitment stuff. We could make an army here, and we may need to. We'll have enough room for all of the important recruitment things. We also have damaged buildings in Zoyschenk, and it might not be worth fixing them, to be perfectly honest with you. Because the city might just get taken by that Skaven army that ran off, and then these guys will attack it and it will run off again. But at the same time, we have 68,000 gold. I'm willing to take a gamble here. So we have an imminent rebellion in Northern Oblast. We know that. It's not a big deal. Yeah, we will handle our situation. I think we're in a good spot here. So Oglok needs to get to Khazad Bordkarag, put down rebellion here, eventually put down this rebellion, but probably we're going to lose Zoishenk. If we can hold on to Erengrad, I will be fine. It let Erengrad finish its garrison building, so I think we might be able to maintain that and actually get that leveled up and get the port up to a decent level. This could have gone a lot worse than it has gone. And you know, fighting rebel armies is good for your reputation anyway. Boy, Reichland sure is showing an awful lot of military strength. We just need to relieve pressure on the vampires for long enough for them to get their stuff together recruitment-wise. Looks like that's a thing that's going to have to happen really soon if we want it to happen at all. I can't believe the number of battles that are going the Empire's way. It would be one thing if all of the battles that are going their way were happening on their turn, if they were just leading this big successful campaign, but the fact that the vampires are hurling armies at them and losing over and over again is really frustrating. Very tempted to just try to shove them off the wheel. Just go over there and be like, let me run your stuff. You don't know what you're doing. Okay, they took back Fort Straghov. Oh no, they just burned it down. That's bad. That's a bad play. Ooh. Alright. I will enter this war on the side of my ally. We were going to have to go to war with Ostland anyway. But this is not a good moment for this. Also, Ostland absolutely did not declare war on them. They just declared war on me in a weird, indirect way for no reason. You know what I will say is actually kind of cool about them destroying Fort Straghov? Now that Fort Straghov's not a city anymore, it doesn't have the plague. And so it can't spread plague to Oglok. It's kind of actually working against them. Okay, Azhag. Let's 2-level up this guy. We finally have capped out all of our relevant skills, and at this point we just start taking map action skill points that will never have an effect, because I'm never taking this guy out of an army. Alright, we really don't have time to let all the malcontents leave for the rebellion. We gotta chew these guys up and get moving. How is public order? Public order's fine here. I'm gonna turn off extortion now for a little while. I think we probably can afford to skip the 180 gold per turn income. And the question is, can Azhag go south? Probably not. Probably not now, right? Okay. Bernhard Blaze caught the plague already, so his units will be suffering considerable attrition. There's still a couple turns left on this plague. Velmir von Rokov, on the other hand, is perfectly healthy. And we are at 89 reputation. So in 2 turns, we'll start getting 5 reputation per turn. And plus, you know, whatever we're going to get from battles and stuff on the way there. I think Azhag has to stay north, unfortunately. This is really not the way I wanted this to go. Absolutely upgrade that. And then... Boy, actually, you know what? I think I shouldn't have repaired this horde. As much as I like the 400 gold per turn, we're going to need public order here in order for this thing not to have an army stationed in it full time. And we don't have time right now for it to have an army stationed in it full time. We're going to turn off taxation as well. We just desperately need this army to be doing other things. So, let me have a look at these guys. Okay, they're showing having no red in the bar at all, which means that it is almost certainly the case that this is their full military. So I don't need to be careful. We're going to have Oglok head over to Khazad Bordkarag. Wow, his underway movement is impressive. So we're going to take Khazad Bordkarag from them next turn. Is that their only settlement? Ooh. They're actually showing us having 0 settlements right now. Cousin Bordkrag might actually be empty. How could that be the case? They are, in fact, suffering attrition for not having a home region. Okay, well, then we'll come swinging out of the mountains. That they really should have occupied Fort Straghoff. I don't know what they're thinking. Alright, you need to get down here and start being a nuisance to the Empire. You probably have to stay in this general area to continue to provide vision. Why don't you try giving a technology buff from here? Okay, there we go. Sadly, not enough to make our research only 1 turn here. And we could upgrade Zoishank. We should probably upgrade Zoishank. There's no sense in waiting until we have 4 population surplus. It's going to take such a long time. That said, Zoishank might actually burn. You know what? No, I'm not going to do this. Only because of the fact that it's entirely... it's reasonable to think that that upgrade wouldn't even finish. We would have just wasted the population surplus point for absolutely nothing. And then we gotta start thinking, like... I know we're massively negative per turn right now, but we're actually doing okay on pulling income from other sources. Do we want to consider putting together a small 4th army? Because I'm just thinking that we have a little bit of a situation here, militarily speaking. So we haven't really gotten our recruitment structures back together in Ostermark. We wouldn't really be able to recruit anything here. So we'd probably want to start recruiting them at Carrick Cadron or Carrick Raziak. What would it be? What would the cost be of another... The next army will be 2,300 gold per turn by itself without any units in it. No, we realistically can't afford to do that. Alright, Spiderclaw. I do wish this was Ozhag's army. We're going to suffer a ton of attrition just from being in vampire territory. Yeah, that's actually really unfortunate. Okay, I'm going to run us right up to the line. We're going to stay just on our side. Don't think we're reachable. Oh, we are. Okay, so Karl Franz's movement range shows us as just barely reachable. We shouldn't be attackable because he's in March mode. This is his March mode movement range. But given that we've seen the AI break that rule already, I'm going to back up a little bit. Because I'm a little gun shy now. These guys probably, yeah, they don't have anywhere near the movement range necessary to get to Ozhag. The north is going to be a problem for a while. I wonder if they'll attack Ehrengrad the turn they hit it. With 2 armies worth of troops, sometimes the AI is willing to attack a walled city the turn they reach it instead of just building siege towers and stuff. I sure hope they don't. Also, I'd really love to not have to go over near the plague thing until after the plague ends. But I guess we're just not... That's not the world we live in, unfortunately. Alright, so 2 damn many Reichland armies up in Vampire Town. They're definitely... Oh wait, did they not even attack Eschen? Oh no, they did. They attacked it and took it so quickly that we couldn't even see the change happen. And they have 2 armies right there, so we can't even really intercede just yet. This is grim. We really needed Ozhag to be able to go south. Are you going to take it? Okay, that time they took it. Desperately fleeing Alglok the Horrible. I mean, I'm fine leaving Kazid Bordkarag just empty. Honestly, I'm fine leaving Fort Straghoff empty as well. Okay, they did split their armies up. That's really good news for us. Are the rats going to attack Valmir von Rakov? They are not. I'm a little surprised by that. I'm wondering if, also, this is a wonderful trait. I'm wondering if they didn't have enough movement left. Alright, so they got agents trying to blow up all my stuff. Everything is horrible and in turmoil forever. I'd love to save Fort Ostrosk. We'll see if it ever becomes viable. And Morlock is on 9 units. He's not even actually in mustering mode, so he's not building up a new force. How far can these guys move? They can't even get to Zoishank, so Uglok is definitely not in any danger from them. Alright, well, we have to decide here. Do we want to approach directly? Here, we'll run like this, so I end up in my own territory. We're going to take a little tiny bit of attrition damage moving out of the mountain pass. Absit is absolutely capable of destroying Fort Ostrosk, and the plague is over there. So actually, I think I'm going to have Ozhag veer off and crush this. Okay, let's eat some dudes. And then, yeah, turn back around. And well, actually, do I turn around? Maybe I get alongside Uglok. How many turns left of plague? Still 3. It's the duration of the plague in each town is different. Okay, well then you go this way. Go away from that. And we do have some regiments of renown available. We have a slot open in this army because of the fact that we lost some nasty skulkers in the Hell Pit fight, which I was a little surprised by. So we should probably recruit something. Boy, what would I mean, you're never coming out of the army, so whatever. These skill points don't matter. Can't recruit anything because I'm in march mode. I don't know. Let's not worry about it this turn, I guess. We don't exactly know where the other Norden army went, but we know that it's nowhere near anything that's near... It's nowhere near any of our settlements. Maybe those lights might be a raiding party. Somehow the plague spread down here, which seems very strange to me. And our forward scouting has worked out. Emil von Corden has moved back to Hergig, which has also become plagued. Sadly, it is unlikely that his army will get plagued as well. Boy, my heroes are not great at their jobs. Well, you just need to get across the river. Arachnic really can't attack Eschen. Waldenhof has a proper garrison. Gosh, I wish I wouldn't take attrition damage just from being in their territory, because sitting in ambush mode near Waldenhof is probably the best move for fighting these guys. But I think actually that may be exactly what they need from us. So I'm gonna move to here. No, I can't. Can't move any further than like this. Boy, where there we go. It's weird that I'm not moving my mouse at all right now, by the way. I don't know what is happening with the targeting here. But if we could just find a spot, here we go. Like, yeah, right there. 27% movement left. We'll take some attrition damage. I'm not allowed to ambush, even though I have 27% movement range left. Cannot adopt ambush stance when in view of another faction's army, even if it's a friendly faction, apparently. That's really dumb and 100% not how that should work. Alright, well, I'll just go back to my own territory then, and I'm nearby. I'm ready to help. I feel like my allies should allow me to lay ambushes on their behalf. That's pretty stupid that works that way. It doesn't come up all that often. I'm a little surprised I didn't know that, but honestly, it really doesn't come up all that often. Okay, absolutely max this out. That's very important. Here we need one of these. We do have access to... Oh, cool. The exotic animals resource gives you access to a building you can use to hire squigs. Growth +5, upkeep down for squig units in the entire, all squig units everywhere in the entire world, and puts 4 squig herds in the garrison. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure that we're going to need a boss's tent, though. Otherwise, we're going to lose Hell Pit to rebels, unless I permanently park armies over here. Alright, let's see how this whole thing resolves. Man, if we were allowed to lay an ambush near Waldenhof, there's a pretty good chance that the Empire armies would roll up and attack Waldenhof, not realize that I was there available as reinforcements, and then we could actually try to push them off with the help of the fact that Waldenhof has walls and is actually like a well-defended settlement. I think that is a good solid plan that was made impossible by some game mechanics that are definitely not working in a sensible way. Nah, that's okay. The Empire is not... They're not interested in that anyway. They want Drakenhof. They want the gold mine. We might be the ones who end up in control of that, honestly. So Harganeth, it is worth noting, Harganeth, the big Dark Elf faction, declared war on both Bretonnia and Reichland. That's really good news for us in terms of potentially being able to get some diplomatic relationship going with Harganeth. And it's also good news because if Harganeth were to attack Reichland, they would do it from the west or the north, and basically draw Reichland's armies away from the front with us. For some reason, that second Ostland army just moved back to where they were before they moved last turn. Oh, that's embarrassing. Grimgor has initiated a walk against Sartosa. Alright, we need to probably get somebody down here and meet Grimgor and figure out what the hell he's doing. Troll Country's about to have a second rebellion? Which I didn't even... How would that work? Okay, it's very strange. It's very strange. Let's ignore Halskery, I think, and just take Zoishenk back. We probably have to kill Compul's army. Compul's army has been plagued, so they've been suffering. The plague's got to be about to come to an end, so I think it shouldn't be a big deal for us to do this. Boy, we got a lot of followers and items and garbage from winning that battle. Alright, you, at 75 melee attack, you're not desperate for more, but I think it's the most sensible thing to take. We're still 4 levels off of being able to get his Wyvern. And you can finish Fists of Gork. So we are now inside of the, we're inside of the zone of control of Zoishenk, so we have no choice but to attack the city. Which obviously we do, and we win easily, and then if we occupy it, that leaves that rebel army alive. I think I'm going to sack it. This will push us back outside of its zone of control, and now we can continue murdering. Let's actually get these guys dead. Give ourselves a leadership buff, because there's no more replenishment to be earned. It's true, he is a very confident attacker. And he's also very bold. Boy, that's a really small stat boost. What an incredibly weak trait. Unfortunately, it looks like we can't quite attack Morlock, because he's gotten to the other side of the woods there. So I don't know exactly how we're going to deal with him. We're probably going to have to wait for him to decide he wants to fight, unfortunately. It's not like a thing. Skaven are not known for their bravery. So, somehow, despite sieging Erengrad, Velmir von Rokov has not gotten plagued. But Bernhard Blaze is... Okay, we can't see the health of these units, but they're all losing health at the same rate, so Bernhard himself is telling us how weak that army must be. And I think we're gonna try to push up in an ambush stance here. So he can move as far as that. Well, how far forward can I get? This should work. And to be perfectly honest, even if the ambush fails and they come over here to attack, we might be able to fight them off, maybe. And von Rokov can go as far north as Zoishenk. I think, given that we can't attack Morlock here, I'm going to fall back and claim Zoishenk now. But I wanted to make sure we took out that other army. Well, hold on. If he can get to Zoishenk, then... Yeah, he could have Bernhard Blaze follow him. Well, this is a very basic army. These are like the lowest tier troops you could possibly have. And the same is pretty much true here. I'm going to have Oglok back up a little bit. Where's 25% movement range left? Is he allowed to ambush mode here? Okay, we are far enough from Zoishenk. We're gonna attempt to engage in brutally cunning play here. Hopefully it'll work. And then you need to just start... Well, yeah, we need to kill guys. There are too many damn wizards in these armies. Alright, and he did it. Hooray! He hit level 20. His deeds will go down in song. And he stole us a banner that is absolutely terrible. Alright, so... now we have the ability to move into some kind of defensive position on Waldenhof. My guess is that it will not help anymore. They have 4 full armies in this area. Boy, I don't know how we are going to help, though. I mean, if we stood in front of Waldenhof and ambushed, we could probably catch one of these armies out of position. Gelt's army is suffering pretty badly from attrition, although obviously some of these units are newly brought in. Probably units that have been traded in from other armies that are coming up fresh. But this is just too many damn guys. We are going to get our Wog next turn. Maybe the right play is to have Rachnik just sit back. I'm gonna step in front here. Please tell me I'm allowed to... Nope. Interestingly, although I have 28% movement range remaining now, if I move forward here, I'll have 29, it says.
Ready to go.
Okay, we found it. We found the edge of the territory. So, in this situation, if we get attacked, if our ambush fails and we get attacked and I hit the fall back button, we'll fall back to the other side of Waldenhof. So we should be safe, I think. I'm going to give these guys... I think we're pretty anti-infantry here, right?
Never.
Yeah, this army has a couple units of horses. You can't see exactly what all's happening. But I think we want the jagged weapons buffs. And we have so much scrap coming in now that we can be really aggressive with these, which is awesome. Oh, I'm done. Yeah, those are really expensive. It's 80 scrap per. And I mean, not necessarily in a way that's not warranted or anything. Appleberg is plagued. Plague has ended in Wolfenburg, which is nice. We're 9 turns off of that next point of population. Jeez, that's pretty rough. Zavastra should get capped out and defended. And now, what do we want to fall back and grab? Obviously we need some goblin buffs. We're actually using a fair number of goblin units now. So +7 armor, +5% missile strength, melee attack, speed, and charge bonuses. I think this is probably... the physical resistance and leadership here are probably the most relevant things we have access to. And then, on second thoughts, will be fine. We still have a bunch of... research that requires scrap, although obviously we have an awful lot of scrap income now. So, I'm very, very nervous about all of our ambushes here. Some of the things we're doing might work out really well. Rachnik's ambush was foiled. I'm curious what they'll do about that. I mean, they're going to ride up and attack. I'm going to fall back to the other side of Waldenhof, and then who knows from there. Yep, run away. Well, this is pretty bad. So the good news is nothing. There's no good news here. I decline to participate. Sorry, guys. You do not have enough movement for that. Okay, something's... and this is... not only is this, like, definitely beyond the movement of any of those armies, but wasn't Emil von Pupelschleit the one who was all the way back in the Western settlement? Something's definitely broken with the movement ranges. That's a pretty big thing to screw up in a patch. Okay, well, This is really annoying because it seems like armies that we start during the WOG don't get WOG reinforcements, and we're now not going to get WOG reinforcements for Rachnik. There's nothing in this army that I'm particularly broken up about losing. Like, those Black Orcs were getting pretty leveled up, and it's a shame to see them go. But that aside, this is not that big of a deal, but I'm pretty annoyed that we're not going to get WOG reinforcements for our third stack here. Oh well. There's no sense fighting this battle. There's no universe in which we do any real damage. Yep, and Aldebrand Ludenhoff, who could not possibly be in the position that he's in, rides an incredible distance to attack an unguarded settlement. Okay, so we're going to have to start recruiting multiple stacks of guys right now, right this second, in the mountains to keep the humans from flowing in. I can't believe how badly the vampire factions have played here. Repeatedly attacking into losses from an AI faction who judges whether or not they're going to do battle entirely by the balance of power bar, which is the thing that, it should almost never happen that the AI attacks into a loss. It does basically never happen. This might be the only time I've seen an AI faction attack into a loss against another AI faction more than once. So of course it was a faction that I'm allied with. Yep, this is not a winnable battle. That plague made that unwinnable, unfortunately. This is too much damage on the garrison and too slow growth to put up a better garrison building. Alright, well, we are about to get our WOG on here. There's a lot of notifications. And, I guess we get to... Okay, so because the WOG doesn't trigger at the beginning of the turn, I press the button. So we can start building 2 new armies and then press the WOG button. And they'll both, in theory, get WOG reinforcements. And we're just going to have to operate at negative 10,000 gold per turn, probably, for a while, because we have to fight such an absurdly huge number of enemies. This is it's a little frustrating that there's still stuff happening up here. It's a little frustrating that an AI faction took Norden and then gave it back to the Ostland rebels so that Ostland could come back into the game. In a lot of ways here, we're losing really badly to everybody else's bad play, which is frustrating. Some of the stuff that's happening is 100% my fault. That we've definitely screwed around up north too much. We lost Rachnik early on, which slowed our rate of growth westward. But the way this thing is happening right now is it's just very frustrating that the people around us are playing badly in ways that hurt us as much as or more than them. Varg was the one who lost Norden, and then they just confederated out, and now they're totally... it's frustrating. Anyway, that is going to have to be it for us for today. We are, in fact, out of time. When you come back next time, tomorrow, it's going to be a bloodbath, man. We're going to kill so many Reichlanders. We're not even going to be able to count that high, because it's going to be a number above 5, and we never figured out how to add our second-hand fingers to the math. So, come back for that. It's going to be exciting. And we'll see you then.